Sup everyone, what a sick day, look at the weather. Anyway, I've been driving this for a week now with the turbo set up. Turned the boost up yesterday by winding in the actuator, and I just noticed that green pipe was off, so I might have been driving it on flat out like no boost control, but I don't know, it might have come off. So as you can see, I got it up and running last week and I was running like 1 psi of boost or whatever. So I've been doing a bit of tuning this week. As you can see here, I've got this bit of aluminium bolted to the head, rubber hose, and come into the car comes fruit bulkhead, and then I got stethoscopes. Hang on. I look cool as fuck, don't I? But yeah, I can't hear what I'm saying, but I can hear what the engine's doing. Let me take these back off again. So yeah, I'm like tuning the ignition, trying to listen out for det with these homemade det cans. I actually have owned these since 2014. Obviously I'm like tuning off of data logs, so I'm using this as a dashboard, tuning software, data logger, you know, I'm using it for everything, and it's actually shit hot. Apart from, at some point within the first couple of days, I chipped the corner off, and now it is no longer, oh look, you can see my slap head. It is no longer touchscreen, but it doesn't matter. I got a mouse, and yeah, that's adequate. But I am about to play with cam timing, because this low compression engine has done 1,000,000 miles, and I believe it's got like a stretch chain, and it makes like 8 psi of boost or 7.5 psi of boost, and then after 5,000 rpm it drops off to about 5 psi, and I'm not entirely sure what that is. But when it was on ITBs, it would only really rev to about 6 and then would fall flat. So I think it's probably just cam timing. So I'm gonna get the cover off and check out the cam timing, and I'm gonna test drive it, see if the power band's better, see what boost we make, and then adjust from there. I think I'm gonna try and run I'd like to hold 8 psi all the way. To be honest, I'd like to run 6 psi and then after peak torque wind it up to like 10. I still haven't made a throttle bracket, cable bracket. If I've got enough time after I've done cam timing, I will do that. As you can see, there's no clip on there. The clip is on the dashboard. Can't see it. It's just in there. And then boost pipe, yeah, it's a heap of shit, and so is the one underneath. But over here, come in here, I got, oh Jesus, 2 meters of 2.5 inch, which is for the upper boost pipe, and the lower boost pipe, I'm waiting for the material for that. I got a K20 here. So the body shop where, you know, like that thing was, my engine, my bonnet, my bumper, my skyline, all of that was at the same body shop, and this engine was in my spare recorder at the body shop, and I picked it up the other day, and guess what? The catalytic converter has vanished. The catalytic converter that was worth like £800 and was supposed to be fund for the van, so I can get an ECU for the van, well, it's gone missing. And the people that were storing my stuff have no idea where it's gone. Right, so I actually slipped a little bit and bits went flying everywhere. So I've ended up taking it all apart and just lining the chain up on the dots of the little gold teeth, gold tooth, and then there should be gold tooth. It's hard to see on a high mileage chain. So tensioner's back on, and I also, as you can maybe see in there, you can't really, but the tensioner has got hefty grooves in from being worn, and what you can do is take it out, flip it over and put it back in again. So that is what I've done, and you can see there's a little bit of looseness, but that's just because it's got a release and tension. So now all I've got to do is put this cover back on. Focus, you fuck. Put this cover back on, put the engine mount, and then put the cover back on. Sweet. Right, so we are going to go and try and test this. I think the boost is going to be a lot less. It was running 7.5 until about 5k, then dropped off to about 5 psi, but that was because I forgot to put the pipe back on, the wastegate pipe back on. So what I've done is I've connected the pipe back on, and I have wound in a couple of turns. Hang on, there's someone going past. So I wound in a couple of turns on the actuator, probably more like 10 turns to be honest, and apart from that I've made no changes other than the cam timing. So cam timing and boost, and we're going to see where we're at. There's a car, another van coming, wait for them to go. It's not very aggressive on the anti-lag. Right, here we go. Hopefully this is going to be better. I wasn't even watching the boost, but it feels better. I might go the go a longer route, because if I go back the normal way, it definitely doesn't feel like it's lost anything in the mid-range. Whoa. I didn't even look at the boost. I was just trying to look at the AFRs and not crash. It's got loads more power just from changing the cam timing. Cyclist, bloody cyclist. Fuck's sake. It's such a small vehicle, they don't have to make themselves big. It's going really well. Cam timing has made so much difference. temps are really good on this car. They never, like 30 is like the highest I've seen so far, and the car's been idling for a little bit, and yeah, it's pretty good. And the engine actually runs warmer. Used to have trouble getting up to temp. Everything's mint. Like, I've just data logged that little burn, so what we could do is have a quick, if I can get my mouse to work, let's have a quick so this is just a quick look at the data logger. You can see on the left here I've got RPM in white, AFR in red, and boost in green. You'll have to excuse me, I'm colourblind, but I'm sure that's green. And then move to the right, you got the little graph, and it says at the top max 7012. So I hit a maximum of 7,000 RPM on that test drive. The maximum AFR I hit was 19.9. Well, that's because I run really retarded ignition. So it's basically a misfire when I'm off throttle, so it doesn't matter. But I can turn off like my retarded ignition if I really want to make sure that's all good. Anyway, so it also hit a maximum boost of 5.7 psi. The richest it went is 10.1 AFR, and that's kind of, we don't need to worry about that. And if we go down to graph 2, you can see duty cycle in white, AFR in red. So we don't need to worry about AFR, we just looked at that. So duty cycle, where you can see the mouse cursor, pointer, arrow thing, 78.2%. So basically we hit pretty much 80% injector duty cycle on that run. Don't know why my camera is being so potatoey. Now if I go file, open, and I go back to yesterday, we've got duty cycle. So I hit 88% duty cycle when it was running maxing out at 7.7 boost. So I can afford to go to about 8 psi. Whether my clutch is going to take that, and whether I've got an 8 psi. The problem I've got is if I close the gate off anymore, it's going to get to the point where it gets to the top of the RPMs, and it basically shits its pants because it can't open the gate far enough. Right, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to do another data log later, and we are going to make things better. And I completely forgot to put my deck cans on, so I will do a bit of tuning later with the deck cans on.